I mean, it looks a good wicket, but it's difficult for me to tell exactly what it's going to play like. You know, traditionally, if you look, I think Chittagong's a pretty good batting surface, and sometimes it can keep a little bit low. But I don't want to read into the wicket too much. What I do know is we're coming off a good win, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's international cricket, and you just get on with whatever's in front of us, whatever surface is there. But look, I'm not an expert on wickets, but mate, the square in general, actually down here, it looks quite good. And the curator, just speaking to him today, said he was quite confident because there hasn't been as much traffic on lately. So I think they've had a chance to make the square look really nice. No risky. It is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, that's what the surface is. I've got no real in-depth comments about the surface or the oval, the ground. It looks fine to me. Yeah. Oh man, I think the way he's bowling, I think he's fine. He's fine to play. You know, so yeah, there's different stages before tournaments, after tournaments, when there are rest periods where you can get some rest. What I do know about Nahid Rana is he's a fit man. He's very fit. So if anyone, I mean, yeah, he bowls high pace, but he's also extremely good athlete. And I think the way he's bowling at the moment, opposition teams are not going to want to face him. They're not going to be as keen to play against him. I think with Nahid Rana out of the team, if you're talking from an opposition perspective, they'd be happy with that. I think he'll be available for selection. I'm not 100% sure. He bowled today maybe 3-4 overs. So I don't know what the selector's going to do with the team, to be honest. I actually don't know. But he was fine today bowling. Yeah, I hope so. And I'm very confident they can do that, absolutely. And I know they are confident to do that, for sure. And we saw they bowled pretty well the last two matches, and surfaces, as you said, were a little bit different. And they adapted really well to both those surfaces in Dhaka. So there's no reason why they cannot do that tomorrow's game. But I mean, that's international cricket as well. You know, you come across, you know, wherever we go, Australia, Zimbabwe, it's going to be a little bit different. And that's the beauty of it. And being able to, for young fast bowlers to experience different pitches and see if they can perform on those wickets, that's international cricket. Yeah, immensely. I enjoy their company. I enjoy seeing them improve, and obviously when it goes well, it's great. It's great. You know, you've got to be, as a bit of a mentor, whatever you want to call it, coach, mentor. You've got to be there for them when they're doing well. You've got to be there for them if it's a little bit tough. It's not me, and I don't see it as me and them. I see it as all of us together. I'm part of their bowling group, and you know, I've obviously spent nearly 1 year here now, and I very much enjoy spending time with those fast bowlers and working with them. Yeah, he bowled today, and as far as I know, he's fine today after bowling. Whatever the selection committee decides to do, that's up to them. I don't know. But the wicket itself, it looks a little bit different. It looks a good wicket. I'm not an expert on pitches, but it looks a good wicket. I was saying before, you know, traditionally in Chittagong, it's usually a pretty good batting surface. It can keep low at times, but this pitch here seems to be, you know, in my 12 months here, it looks as good a wicket as I've seen in Chittagong. Let's see how it plays tomorrow. One thing I have noticed in Bangladesh, it is difficult to read wickets here, in general, to be honest. Certainly in Mirpur, because as we saw, the first game was a little bit different to the second game. Maybe that's the beauty of playing cricket in Bangladesh. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there, but there's a few differences. He's very fit. He's fitter than what I was. I was a bit heavier, and it was a bit more difficult for me to bowl fast, but it seems to be a little bit easier for him because he's a great athlete. Really lean and strong. He's got a good build for a fast bowler, which is why I have the confidence, you know, especially in these conditions, really hot. And backing up games, I've got a lot of confidence in his ability to do that. I was a little bit different. I probably got injured a little bit more than him. What I really enjoyed about this series so far was the last match, his Yorkers. That sort of brings back the days of Waqar Younis, you know, fast bowler coming in, taking wickets at the top, and then cleaning up the tail with fast Yorkers. I loved that. Personally, I loved that. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure. It wasn't my idea. I can't speak for everybody else, but I don't think that was the idea. It's just how it works out sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, last game was really good. There's obviously huge expectation here in Bangladesh between whether it's you guys, the media, the public, whoever it is. And there's expectations to want the batting group to be good all the time. Now, whether that's realistic or not, I don't know, but we saw some good individual performances last game and we managed to win the game comfortably. What we obviously want to see is a little bit more consistency with that. You know, hopefully tomorrow they come out tomorrow and do the same thing. That'd be great. And I guess, you know, there's only so long you can keep talking about it, but when you do have a little, in the batting I think you do have a little bit of a change from a couple of years ago where you had some senior batsmen, a little bit of a change, but we still have senior batsmen here. So in the group itself, we don't use that as an excuse at all. But I guess what we can see and what we can hope is just constant improvement and just those individuals standing up game to game and winning the game for the team, you know. Yeah. No, I think there's always pressure to win the series. There's whatever pressure looks like to anyone, whatever it is. You know, this is the top level, and you got to win series, especially when you put yourself in a position like we did winning the last game. We expect to win tomorrow. Yeah, I mean they feel relaxed today. I mean we travelled down yesterday. They seem relaxed to me. You take a bit of confidence from each win, and I think there's an expectation to win the game. There's no doubt about that. Yep. Yeah, I mean it's good to see a couple of new faces in the national team. Obviously we've seen a bit of them. I've seen a little bit. I've worked with them recently, but I've seen a little bit of them in the emerging stuff and whatever before that. And they've both played really well over the last 12 months, whether it be BPL or emerging cricket. They've both performed really well, and then they've earned their right to play in the national team. And I've spent some time with them over the last month to 6 weeks, maybe. And they're both great guys to work with. So it's always nice to get an injection of energy from a couple of younger players in the squad. So I look forward to spending some time in the 2020 series with those two guys. Yeah, you know, sometimes with the fast bowlers, well, with the modern day game, especially 2020 cricket, there's this temptation to bowl lots of different deliveries. So I think, you know, chatting with Naheed, he's a smart guy, and without making it too complicated at the moment, I think what's working for him is great. He does have a slower ball, but if there's no need to, I sort of said to him, if there's no need to bowl it, you don't have to bowl it, you know. So someone like Naheed, where other guys have to bowl the change-ups, he's got a lethal bouncer. So a lot of guys, you know, the slower bowlers, 130 bowlers, don't have a lethal bouncer. So it's probably not a wicket-taking option, whereas that might be. Whereas for Naheed Rana, it's the other way at the moment. He's getting a lot of wickets from his short ball, obviously with his pace and bounce. So look, he's a smart guy. He'll develop things as we go. But I would love him just to keep it simple and bowl fast at the moment. Well, I mean, it probably goes, in these conditions as well, it probably goes to show his fitness levels. That's the biggest thing. If he's fit enough when it's really hot to keep running in for all 10 overs and bowl at that pace, that's really encouraging. He's an asset. Clearly he's an asset. I think it's just taken time for him to get a chance to play consistently, and I think he's showing now what he's capable of. And you know, people around the world are starting to notice a little bit because the PSL, when he played there for the Zalmi, there was a lot of talk about him there. So obviously when you get a young bloke bowling 145, 150, it creates noise and excitement. At the moment, all I'll say is he's fine, and he's been good to work with. Yeah.
For more updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Download 𝗃 Sports app to enjoy exciting games and highlights. Visit 𝗃sports.com.